The chosen ones. 6 chosen 1 players must be in the starting 11. We're out for a serve.
I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did that. So up and down against the big boys, but we've got a big problem now, and it's this. The injury league table, we sit top of that clear with 7 massive injuries. The latest one is Borna Sosa. He's only played a few games off the bench, but he's only gone and broken his blooming ankle. The defeat by Milan was followed by another defeat, disappointing at home to Venezia. In the 98th minute. Against Atalanta, we went 3-1 up at half-time and absolutely bottled it and lost 3-4. It's really unlucky because this tactic had started really well with our full-strength squad, but injuries have just meant it hit the rails a bit. However, this man was a bright spot. We've been operating with smaller, nippy strikers. He gives us something different at 6'3". It meant in a few games we could change the way we play and get some crosses into the box. It's at a stage now where he's fast becoming our number 1 striker, and his form has helped us get out of this little mini bad run, and stunningly, after 12 matches, we sit in the Champions League spots. So here we are, what a season. Do you know what? What a season it could have been if we hadn't had those injuries, because we were absolutely flying. So 12 matches, we don't draw games, we've won 8, which is amazing, and we've lost 4. This has been working pretty well, the false 4-2-4. I'm still swaying with this role, not sure what to do with it. Sometimes he starts as a winger, sometimes it's an inside forward. It all depends how the fullback behind him is playing, but one thing's for sure, the game against AC Milan, where we got absolutely found out, even before Kowal got sent off, we weren't playing great. I definitely need to come up with some sort of plan B for away matches.
AS Roma manager Thomas Lech has been sacked due to their club's poor league performance. A shocking early favourite for this role is Porto Bocelli manager Neil Stinger.
Well then, who would have thought it? I mean, don't get me wrong, I've had job offers in the past, but this is probably the biggest one we've had yet, AS Roma. It's mostly funny because of this man and the rivalry that I've built up with him. So he's been sacked with Roma sitting in 18th, and they've come to us. But not today, I'm afraid. We're going to decline that interview, but it's nice to see. It does mean that our reputation, which I've not even been keeping an eye on, has boosted up to 3 stars now. I probably need to boost myself up with a little coaching badge as well. And then, showing my true management skill, this match against Juventus, I did one of the biggest errors you can do in Football Manager. We concede early after 6 minutes, but look who isn't marking anyone at the back post. That's right, Perisan. What have I done? Inexplicably, when I was changing my team round, I put Perisan as left wing back by accident. And that mini error, although funny, has had a bad effect. It's had the knock-on effect of a really bad run now. We haven't won in 7, and we go from the Champions League spots all the way down to 11th. When it rains, it pours, because we had a bunch of clubs in for Penchev, and a bid of 21.5 million from Norwich City has been accepted by our board. Has that one error of putting a goalkeeper at left back, which is just a totally normal error, right? Has it completely derailed our season? It's starting to look that way. Because as if from the goalkeeping gods, in the next match against Salento, Rizzo, in that seemingly innocuous moment, broke his arm. That meant Perisan, the left wing back, was then back in goals. I've just had a pure nightmare there, a pure nightmare. It's amazing, sometimes you're in a great run like that, then this random thing, it was literally a case of grabbing a player, a left back, to jump in there, didn't even notice I'd put a goalkeeper in, go wreck the team. Now we are in the middle of a bit of a dodgy run here. I mean, if you look at it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Serie A matches without a win. We have got a win in the Coppa Italia. So it was time to go to the data hub to try and find out what's been going on. It's pretty clear that conceding is the problem, so let's have a look at conceding. Assists in the last 15 matches. We can see it's through balls at 9. Not crosses, it's through balls. Which is pretty interesting because we made a big deal about the big 4 there staying in their positions. So what I've done is, I've dropped the defensive line back a bit. We were high. Through balls seem to be coming in from this central position. I'm going to drop it there like that. We haven't trapped inside, which would just encourage those through balls, I think. We might even push them outside to see if that helps. Because despite being down in 11th, we've got 27, which is not a bad amount, but it's the goals conceded that is the problem at 30. However, in better news, it is January, and we do have a little bit of money to play with in terms of transfer budget. We can possibly transfer over to wage budget. The problem we've got when looking for players is, obviously, the 6 players need to stay in the team, so we can only look for positions that we think can affect the team. With all that in mind, I went for a utility player. Former Chelsea player Renato Vega in on a free transfer. He's big, he's powerful, he can cover central midfield, but he can also cover centre-back and left wing-back. Then we played Napoli, bizarrely managed by Sean Dyche, and it went as you might expect. They didn't have any of the ball, we battered them, but they beat us. Which means this promising season is derailing fast. 5 games lost in a row now, ever since that massive error against Juventus with the left-back situation. We've just fell off a cliff. 5 in a row turned to 6 in a row, 6 in a row turned to 7 in a row. Thank God we got those points at the start of the season, as we are in free-for-all. I know how Pep feels right now. You can literally trace this back to that moment against Juventus when I put Perisan in as a left back by accident. Right there next to my head, Perisan won. Since then, it seems like the game's punishing me and we just cannot do a thing right. It's pretty clear I've got to change this completely now. I've gone back to the original 4-2-4 version. I'm at a loss. A draw stopped the rot against Sassuolo, but we'd now gone 10 matches without winning. It was time for 18th place Empoli. With crowds dwindling, the chosen one players did step up as they overcome the odds and finally got back to winning ways, smashing Empoli 4-0. An unlikely hero in that match was Andrea Pellegata. He provided a goal and an assist because now he's going to have to start more often than not because Penchev has gone to Marseille. Against the team I turned down, Vega scored his first for us, and the 92nd minute from chosen one Condello gave us a massive win. That's number 8 for the season for Condello, which doesn't sound spectacular, but last season he only scored 4, so he's definitely boosted up. On the pitch, things were really improving. We switched to a 4-2-4, and against AC Milan, Ruti scores the first, and a late goal from this corner was actually the third of the match, and we battered AC Milan, our local rivals, 3-0. This got us back into the top 10. The slight tweak was we moved one of the strikers out wide, so we've got 2 inside forwards coming in like that, and 2 drop-off strikers, confusing the opposition defence. So Penchev goes for 15 million, that's the second player the board decided to cash in on, under my nose, bit annoying. They've also rejected my latest attempt to improve some facilities. I'm just getting a bit upset with my board. Even more so when they have their cheek to say board culture, develop players using the club's youth system. Devastated. What youth system? I asked to improve the facilities yet again, and a request for an increased junior coaching budget. And despite taking record gate receipts in the derby against AC Milan, they rejected our request yet again. And then